so plain and precious. Finally, the Book of Mormon is the keystone of
Emmanuel.
Just as the arch crumbles if the keystone is removed, so does all the church fall with the truthfulness of the Book of Mormon. The enemies of the church understand this clearly.
This is not the Church of Emmanuel, Christ of Latter-day Saints, of Joseph Smith. This is the Church of Jesus Christ. When we remove the Lord's name, Emmanuel, from the name of his church, we inadvertently remove him as the central focus of our worship and our lives.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. So, KKK has owned me, proven that I'm a fraud, and an angel of Lucifer appeared to me one night and told me that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints isn't true and that I should worship Lucifer. You guys did know that story from the Book of Mormon, right? Mormons are just so frustrating. They're so true. Why do we even dare kick the pricks? Why can't we just leave them alone? So in my video using priestcraft, section 119 tithing, it's all about Nelson. He stole your money and is using it to go on vacation. He's rich already as a world-renowned heart surgeon. He should be retired, but he's getting paid to be the president of the church. That's priestcraft, section 119. And so, Kevin Cadellas, KKK, replies in his owning of me, proving that I'm wrong, that the church is true, his little faith bubble can remain intact, won't be popped. He says, come on, fat boy, get some donuts and get a hobby. On Friday, I went grocery shopping, had to put on my big boy pants. And I'm trying to hook the belt into the hole, and it's not going in. And so I pull it out some more to try to find the hole, and still, where's the hole? I keep pulling and pulling. I have lost more body mass since my freedom from the shelter prison. I went down 3 belts in the shelter, and here I am on the verge of needing to go down even lower. We're talking boys-sized belts. And so he's calling me fat boy, huh? I guess you're able to see that I'm fat, huh? Aren't you? Now, I do have the bulge in the front, but I'm concerned it's a hernia. But I can't find it on a hernia body map. I don't know. But regardless, I did see donuts on Friday. I was tempted to get them. I chose not to. I've had cravings for chocolate milk, and so when I saw that, I went, ooh, an excuse to get chocolate milk. And so I Google searched to try to figure out what it could mean. And it either means that I am low on magnesium, or I just need a sugar fix. Carly did actually delete my comment. I've confirmed it now. As I linked her to Brigham Young's confession that he wrote 132, that it was all him in 1874. And so she had come out with a new one last night. The Book of Mormon says the LDS Church is corrupt. She didn't use the passages I would have used or did use in was it yesterday or 2 days ago? The latest 2024 Come Follow Me lessons for you. It was over the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life says that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is the great and abominable church. And I went over it for you in an hour and a half long video. But regardless, Carly is new, and apparently she doesn't want help with actual documents. In this video, the new one, she starts off by thanking ex-Mormons for coming to visit her, but she doesn't want you guys to do the parroting one-liners. Joseph Smith is a false prophet. He's a cult leader. He's a rapist, sex predator, child molester, glass looker type crap. And I won't allow that on my channel either. But she's trying to explain where she's coming from. She just barely found out the church is lying to her. She was a hardcore Mormon. And apparently she's still got the baggage, because she deleted my comment that supported her with the actual comment from Brigham Young's lips that it was him who wrote Section 132. It was what she found out in the video. The linguistic pattern is a match to Brigham Young, not Joseph. And yet, and so I again sent her another comment. She allows the comments of ex-Mormons, but someone who gives you documented evidence from Brigham Young that supported your video, you delete. And so I reminded her of the baggage of Mormonism, rejecting truth, and that she needs to plant her new seed of enlightenment in good soil, not in the thorny, rocky, wayside soil that she got from the church. You can't put new wine in old wine bottles, wineskins, because she will crack and leak. And so, yeah, Mormons are abominable people. Prove me wrong, Mormons. You have yet to prove me wrong. You got the KKK, who can't prove me wrong. He just confirms I'm right. So, a Mormon woman in Provo murdered her husband. I'm sure they were brand newly married BYU students. Dear God. Did his his priesthood blessing not work for you? Did you wear a colored shirt to church? So, some news stuff. The news is all shocked and horrified that the defense secretary secretly went to the hospital for 3 days. All I could think of was Nelson kept his hospitalization a secret for 3 weeks. All because it happened on 9/11. Oh my God. I've got them running scared about their authority. So hilarious. And so now, if you call 911, the cops will come out and shoot you. I guess they don't want you calling 911 anymore. Either Louisiana or Los Angeles, a woman was shot by the cops after she called 911. And then an 11-year-old was shot by cops for calling 911 in Mississippi. Dear God, what happened to the Black Lives Matter protests? Oh, right, the cops. Got it. And so, apparently, Claudine Gay, the former Harvard professor, or president, was not removed because she's an anti-Semite. New reporting is revealing had nothing to do with her anti-Semitism, but it's because she's black. So reports Islamic News. One of such Islamic News, the Young Turks, Anna Kasparian, is calling for the withdrawal of weapons from Israel and providing gas to be used by Hamas against Israel. Anybody know what I was referring to? Anna has sunken so low, it's just disgraceful. I had put her on a high pedestal, and oh, how she's fallen. So, my intention was that you guys can learn from me, not just follow me and praise me. Oh, Travis, you're so wonderful, so great. Are you losing weight? My intention is to teach you how to learn. So I give you basic outlines to use to apply to the scriptures. And Stanford is doing such. He's going into the Old Testament book of Ezekiel to learn the exact pattern match with 1 Nephi chapter 1 and thus the second vision of Joseph Smith. They're all the same thing. It is a pattern match, and he sees that. And so, in case you didn't know, Ezekiel chapter 2 is, look for the pattern. Bruce R. McConkie summarizes it as Ezekiel is called to take the word of the Lord to Israel. He sees a book in which lamentations and mourning are written. Yep, Ezekiel is a man like Moses. Therefore, he is called Son of Man. Where do we find this? Oh, right, that Matthew guy in chapter 24. The character Jesus is asked by his disciples, when are you coming back again? And he says, the Son of Man will come in the future. Now, learning of the Jews. It's the man like Moses. And so that's the pattern here. Ezekiel is the man like Moses. He's not real. Yeah, Christians claim he's real because of Constantine turning the Jewish scripture into literal history, and so thus fooled Islam and even the Jews post-Constantine into believing that Ezekiel is real. And so when Joseph Smith has his Kirtland Temple vision, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints turns it into literal history. And so you miss out on what is being referred to here. As Malachi himself is quoted also by Joseph Smith in the second vision. And so thus Stanford was brilliant to go to Ezekiel to learn more about this pattern of the man like Moses. And sure enough, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is condemned in this book too. It's not complicated. And so I don't understand Mormons as to why they have to deny the truth, why they choose to be wrong and call it right. Oh. He also has another thing of a personal letter that he had written to somebody that he's sharing with me. I don't think I'll get into it, but he doesn't say, "Are you losing weight?" But at least he's demonstrating that he's learning on his own without my further compelling him to believe. So, but that's a concern that I have for Mormons, is they are wanting to be compelled to believe. And that's in the Book of Mormon, Alma, chapter 32, right before he gets into talking about liken the word unto a seed. Talking to the poor Zoramites in verse 13, you are compelled to be humble because you were kicked out because of your exceedingly poverty. And when you're compelled to be humble, you seek repentance. And it's similar to a person who gets busted for a crime. They're compelled to be humble, and they claim that they're wanting to seek help for the crime they committed. As the parole boards often look for people who become Christian or find Allah or join the Mormon Church here in Utah to prove that they are really repentant and humbled by what they did and will never do it again. We promise. And they go out and buy a gun and they shoot their husband and murder him. Merry Christmas! This is Claus, God's claws. And so he's going on to talk about how being compelled to be humble is not as good as humbling yourself without the need to be compelled. This is what Carly is not comprehending. Carly was compelled to be humble, and as such, she's not willing to listen to those who support her. And as such, she's gonna end up in a similar problem. That read, ponder, pray, get a spiritual feeling is gonna come back to bite her again and again and again. And she's young enough that it can happen several more times in her lifetime. And then he goes on to talk about being compelled to know before you will believe. This is what Carly has been involved with. She found something that compelled her to know the truth. And instead of denying it, apologizing for it, dismissing it, hoping it goes away, like Mormons do, she had that humbling effect in her mind. But she didn't believe it prior to. She wasn't led to search the scriptures like Stanford is doing, to believe first and then apply the teachings to come to the knowledge of the truth. And so, yeah, he goes, is this faith? No. Faith is hearing the word and then studying it to produce the results, to find out the truth, to know, versus being compelled to know. And the reason why I push this doctrine is that all last year there was a big event prophesied, and the bicentennial was last year, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints did not mention a single word about it. They skipped it. And that skipping is placing all of you, both Mormon and ex-Mormon, in imminent danger because they skipped it, because they're the cause of it. And so all last year I was doing all my videos talking about it, and produced the fruits of Stanford, who's now using that pattern of the second vision to learn the Book of Mormon and to even find out stuff from the Bible. Ezekiel, by the way, means one mighty and strong, the God of might and strength. Just so that you know. The man like Moses. Doctrine and Covenants, section 85, verse 7. Learning of the Jewish Christ. And so, obviously, the enemy is planning something to be done when nobody knows that it's supposed to be done, which is weird. They knew Revelation chapter 12 sign. They made t-shirts. I've shown you that I've got the t-shirt. I've shown you the book signing that I went to, that I had it on my laptop for them. You know, it's been my #1 video since July 2017. I've been doing videos and putting the clip in all these years that it happened, and nobody wants to believe. You're waiting to be compelled to know. Because once you know, and you didn't get there by believing, you're now under greater condemnation if you deny it. That's what Alma and Amulek go on to explain to the poor Zoramites. And that's what I worry about Carly. Carly. Is that she found out the church isn't true, but she doesn't know how to connect the dots. She just barely started. And she's rejecting someone who's trying to help her. And so she's only believing what she wants to believe from her research. She's not wanting anybody else's help. And she doesn't know that it is help, I guess, because of what the church did to her and causing her to be compelled to be humble. And that's what the church has got planned, is the big event to destroy Mormons and ex-Mormons in this valley is purposely designed to compel you to be humble. And in that condition, you are like the Zoramites, who were kicked out for their poverty and have no guide or compass for morality or for your life. And at that point, authoritarians love to step in and take over and put you into bondage, rape you, steal from you, enslave you, and lie to you, rewrite history, so that Brigham Young becomes the second president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So, yeah, just some thoughts this morning. Don't be compelled to be humble. Don't let your dog eat $4,000 and call him a good boy.